Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we finally finished the last fight to unlock another style Cerrine. And of course, if you need some help with the first 4 fights, I do have it both on a playlist specifically for Cerrine, as well as on the channel, and you can just check out the most recent videos uploaded. Now that being said, my initial thoughts of this fight are honestly a little bit ridiculous, a little bit scam. We are using a scam team as well in conjunction to beat this content. However, even with overpowered units that I am bringing with this team, it actually took some experimentation to kind of get the rotation and a little bit of RNG as well. So there is of course some commentary here, and then you can fast forward directly to the fight itself, after which there is obviously the kind of conclusion of this fight. You do get to unlock AS Cerrine for free, no chance scripts required, and then there is an additional quest for her AS after that, which I will upload later on this evening. Like most storyline videos, I'm going to stop talking now and let you watch the rest of the video in peace. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you a little bit later on at the boss fight. And we're back. So Queen 1000, aka our imposter Cerrine, does have very similar moves to Cerrine itself. Her first turn will be a single target physical pierce, and it's actually anywhere from 1 to 3 attacks, very similar to Invigorating Flog. Now in this case, I am using Least Period with Alter Iska in order to kind of shield us some more. We also do have Pry as an additional tank, Ify having Blood Contract with everyone, and of course Yakumo, our newest Shade unit. This enemy is vulnerable to Shade and Earth. However, it does either null most of the other elements and absorb a couple as well. So very difficult and very narrow-banded strategy required for this particular fight. I believe you can also use non-elemental if you want to. So non-type damage, for example, all those Dragon, God Slash, and so on and so forth. Notice that turn 1, I basically set it all up with just Rosa Liliac and kind of just setting up our debuffs with Noble Flames, shielding, and then Retribution to kind of give type up and type down 100% for Shade. Turn 2 was essentially blast through with 1 shot of deletion. Keep in mind that all the enemies actually, as they hit each HP stopper, and there are 2 HP stoppers, each of those summoned minions do have preemptive moves as well. There is some RNG if you want to activate Indulgence. I've had runs or challenges when I was trying it where Indulgence did not come through first, and then you just get blasted off the face of the earth. So extremely annoying that way. And my probably average speed, using Nocturnal Procession, of course, to give everyone speed and power, will help you a little bit, but there is definitely some RNG there for that particular turn. Also note that I guess this fight does have kickback as part of the mechanics as well, and so be aware that you'll need to protect against that, again either using units that can protect against kickback, and also some of the attacks will do stun as well. And if Pry is stunned with that attack as it gets hit during the indulgence phase, he will lose the ability to tank or cover for the rest of the team, and then he just dies. So I've had that happen a few times as well. When you watch my loadout, you will see that I do have a stun resistance badge on him as a counter to that kind of mechanic. After that, it was just a couple of turns of kind of setting everything up to blast through the second HP stopper. Note that I did use the AF there. The first HP stopper, up to the first HP stopper, I just used a 2-turn non-AF strat. Now, the interesting part is here. Note that also I did not awaken the zone using Alter Iska in the first phase. I awakened zone here because there is actually a rotation for the boss where on turn 2 of her rotation, she will actually break your zone. And so it feels like there is a little bit of almost like a 4 or 5 turn rotation, and you want to time it so that you can have an awakened zone active. So A, you can do more damage, and B, like I said, you just want to have it all set up. Keep in mind that, for example, when you do cast the zone setting move, that does give Yakumo mental focus, and as long as Risk Taker is active through Blood Contract, then you will have his massive damage with his deletion. One other thing of note is that you do have to be concerned with the 1 turn barrier at each HP stopper. You cannot bypass that, and so unless you have Barrier Pierce moves, that's going to be very, very difficult. So what I do is basically I stall 1 turn after each HP stopper using Pry, and then the turn after is where you need a lot of help in order to not die. Having least period with a shielding, 50% type, 30% physical really helps a lot. If you have other type of barrier type units or shielding type units, that will help a lot as well. And note that I also brought back Kumos to the front. The reason for that is that Kumos needs to activate the Wrath Savage, because what happens is that if by chance RNG of those single target attacks where it hits Yakumo substantially, he will drain all his MP and he will not be effective on the very last turn that you see there. With Kumos, once you activate Wrath Savage, Yakumo's MP consumption is 0 for 1 turn, so no matter what happens, as long as he lives and doesn't get one-shotted, then you will be able to wipe out the team with the last hit of deletion. So watch carefully the rotation and the moves that I did for each turn. It actually matters because, again, any sort of change in that will affect your attack and you will most likely die. And like I said, there is some RNG with the boss's preemptive possibly out-preempting your Pry. If you're wondering about alternative teams, I would highly recommend using AS Radius, aka Ultimate Defense ×3, over using Pry, because Pry only can do it every other turn, and Chivalry can be activated 3 turns back to back as needed, and that would actually smooth things out quite a bit. One downside, of course, is that AS Radius is very, very slow, and so your preemptive will get out preemptive and possibly make sure you try to speed up your Radius or have ability to do so. If you're wondering about other teams I did try Earth team as well as a magic team with Yakumo and Ify. The problem with that is that you can deal a bunch of damage, but you just can't face off against each of the HP stoppers. One last note I'll comment about this fight in general. I find it more frustrating that now that you have basically every fight has a barrier of some sort. I know there's a handful of units that can barrier pierce, but let's be honest, the vast majority of units, especially the mid-range ones, the older ones, and so on and so forth, even the true manifest that we got more recently, most of those units do not barrier pierce, and so you are actually quite limited in how much team comps you can use. I mean, again, it absorbs essentially all elements or nulls some elements, really only Earth and Shade, and that's obviously because you have Yakumo, you have Ify, and of course our newest unit, Alter Shannon. And so, yeah, not a big fan of that. I'm sorry for using a scam team myself. I do apologize for no Eleganto, or Vegeta. We're just using all new meta units, and so, it's unfortunate we can't fight this fight again. However, hopefully you learned something from this fight, and at least watch for the rotation and maybe find if you have this team, this will make things a lot easier. If you don't, maybe there are other videos out there that might have the roster that you already have. Anyways, again, like most storyline videos, I'm going to stop talking now and let you watch the rest of the video in peace. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.